Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Jermaine, and I'd like to welcome you into another Simple Truth update. It is very important, ladies and gentlemen, that you understand what is beginning to happen and take place around the country. A few weeks ago, we had the shooting in Aurora, Colorado. Now, as of yesterday, August 5th, 2012, there was another shooting. This time, the shooting was done at a Sikh temple in Wisconsin. What I want you to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is that it seems to be a pattern developing, that different things are beginning to happen, and they are labeling them domestic terrorism incidents. And it seems as if it is more fuel on the fire for the UN arms treaty or the gun treaty. The government seems to want to make it look as if we need their protection with everything that is going on. I'm going to present to you a few videos from ABC News. You'll hear about the initial incident, how they reported upon it. You'll hear from one of the shooting victim's sons. He is the president or the head of the temple of some sort there in Wisconsin. And then you will hear the local police or law enforcement reaction. I want you to take a look at these videos and I'll be right back.
We do begin here with that breaking news into what authorities labeled just moments ago a case of domestic terror. A gunman showing up at a place of worship, a Sikh temple, and opening fire just outside Milwaukee in Oak Creek, Wisconsin. They are grieving there tonight. Tears, prayers, shock over what's happened. Families gathering for services and a community meal have been planned for afterward. Children were playing outside when the shooting began. Tonight, 7 people dead, including the gunman, at least 3 critically injured, including 1 police officer who was shot multiple times. We begin our coverage with ABC's David Curley on the fast-moving developments from Oak Creek, Wisconsin.
Fearful the rampage was ongoing, SWAT teams swarmed the temple. Local Sikhs were gathering for Sunday services, heard shots, saw people collapsing.
The shooter loaded the gun again, and he's just going into the building.
The first 911 calls at 10:25, many from the temple.
And we are just trying to find out everybody's fine, and that's the main thing right now.
Her brother-in-law, the president of the temple, was wounded. Her sister-in-law hiding in a closet inside.
Wounded people are on the ground, and the shooters are inside. And people are reporting on text messages, and some people are lying in the bathrooms. They are asking for help.
First on the scene, a 20-year veteran of the Oak Creek Police Department south of Milwaukee. He was treating a victim when he was ambushed by the shooter, who was armed with a semi-automatic handgun.
Multiple rounds were exchanged. The officer was shot multiple times. He is in surgery. His condition is not known at this time. The suspect, the shooter, was also shot. He is down on the scene and presumed deceased.
Shot and killed by a second officer. Several tense moments followed with concern there was another shooter and possibly hostages, reports which proved untrue. But what police did find was grim. The shooter was not the only one killed. 2 dead outside, 4 more bodies found inside the temple. These Sikhs, who practice a peaceful religion established in India 500 years ago, say there have been no threats against them.
This is a big tragedy for our church. Our church, we always felt this is a safe place. We never thought this could happen ever in my church.
This is being classified as a case of domestic terrorism. That allows the FBI to take the lead. President Obama says he is deeply saddened by the killings, and the Indian embassy here in Washington says it is sending representatives to the scene.
The temple was filled with families. The president of the temple was preparing to deliver remarks. His wife there with him. He was shot. She raced to hide from the gunman. Their son talking with me just a short time ago. Amardeep, thanks for joining us tonight under such horrific circumstances. We understand that you were told your father was one of these shooting victims, and how is he doing tonight?
As of now, we still don't know. We have family at the hospital trying to get through to him and get to him. We have heard that several people have gone into surgeries. He might be one of those people.
Your father was inside the temple?
Yeah, he's the president of the temple, and everybody was preparing for today's sermon and mass and getting ready. And so a lot of family and children and adults were there just getting ready for the day, and he was preparing his lecture and everything.
How did you get word of what happened?
So the priest picked up my father's phone as he was on the ground bleeding, and he called me from my father's phone, and I picked it up immediately thinking it was my dad, but it was the priest, and he was standing right next to him.
The priest called you from your father's phone looking to reach a family member to let you know what had happened?
Exactly.
And what did he tell you?
He told me right away that right now my father can't speak. There's too much blood coming out of his back area, and that we need to get ambulances in there right away. And nobody's coming in with an ambulance. It's been a long time.
And could you hear the chaos inside the temple?
At that point, he was hiding as well. They dragged him or put him somewhere where it was a lot more quiet in that little area. And then when my mother called from the closet where she was hiding, it was very quiet.
Have you had a chance to talk with her since then?
No, haven't had a chance to speak with her. What we did was we sent my eldest brother in and his wife in to comfort her and talk to her. She's with the FBI being triaged and held for information.
So your mother was hiding in a closet. Have you talked to her now that this is over?
One of the first things she said to me was, is your dad okay? And then when we couldn't give her the confirmation or any information, she hung up because she had to stay on radio silence.
Did they describe for you at all how this began to unfold?
All I know right now currently is that some of the children who were playing in the front saw somebody get out of a cab and approach the temple, and they thought something suspicious of it, but nobody has accurate accounts or information.
Amardeep, thank you for joining us, and certainly our thoughts are with your father, your entire family, but in particular your father, while they treat him at the hospital. Thank you for taking the time for us tonight.
Thank you so much. Please, everybody out there, if you're hearing this, send your positive prayers and regards to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, as we need them right now.
We certainly will. Amardeep, thank you.
First of all, I want to send out our condolences to the Sikh community for this tragic event that happened today, and talk to you a little bit about what happened, give you what I can. And what we had happen today was an individual, our officers responded to a 911 call, and because of the heroic actions of our officers, they stopped this from being worse than it could have been. Our officers responded to the scene, did find a victim, and we're dealing with that individual when our officer, a 20-year veteran, was ambushed, shot multiple times. He is currently at the hospital undergoing surgery. We expect him to recover. And another officer who was on scene was engaged by the suspect. Our officer did engage that individual, and that individual is deceased from the actions that our officer took. It stopped a tragic event that could have been a lot worse. There was a service going on with many people at that location. What we've done now is it's taken most of the day to clear that area, that the church itself and the surrounding area, because of conflicting reports that we got about how many people may be involved. We just were able to clear it. What we're going to be doing, we have numerous individuals that we have that are deceased at this point. I don't have total numbers for you right now. We're working on that. We're going in there shortly. The FBI will be handling the criminal investigation on this incident. We looked at it, the scope of it, and what the implications might be. We're treating this as a domestic terrorist type incident, and therefore the FBI has the resources needed to help investigate that.
Asking people who are not media to step back, which is hard for a lot of these people right now who just want to hear this information as well. Believe he is the police chief of the city of Greenfield, addressing the media right now.
Wisconsin on Howell Avenue in Oak Creek. My name is Brad Wentland. I'm the police chief for the city of Greenfield. It's WENTLANDT. I will be the public information officer for this incident for the foreseeable next couple of hours probably. I have limited information to give you. I hope you understand this is an ongoing and very fluid situation. There's information I cannot give you. I will tell you this, that we would plead with the media on scene to not broadcast any photos, video of tactical units, officer movement, and particularly no aerial footage of the event as it's ongoing. That could be very dangerous to our personnel as they go about executing their duties. What I can tell you is that approximately 10:25 a.m., Oak Creek Dispatch received an unintelligible 911 call from someone who was reporting an incident. They received further information that there may be a shooting going on at the Sikh Temple here in Oak Creek. An officer arrived on scene. He engaged an active shooter. That officer was shot multiple times. He has been transported to a local hospital. He is expected to survive. That officer returned fire and that shooter was put down. That shooter is currently outside of the temple. He is down on the scene. At this time, we don't know if there are additional shooters inside the temple. Our tactical officers from multiple jurisdictions are on the scene. They are going about a methodical process of identifying the individuals both inside and outside of the temple and ensuring that the scene is safe and secure and attending to victims as they go forward. Please understand that, as I said, the situation is very fluid. Tactical operations are ongoing at this moment, so I cannot share any other information from you. I do not have a victim count. I do not have a suspect count. I can tell you that one officer was shot multiple times. He's at a local hospital and expected to survive. I can tell you that one suspect was shot and he is down on the scene. We do not know if there are other suspects present. Therefore, again, we would ask the media to not broadcast any images of officer or vehicle movements on the scene, particularly aerial shots. I will meet with you again at 1:30 at this location to give you an update on the situation.
Chief, what do you want people to know in Oak Creek who hear that there may be there may be other suspects out there who are worried, as this is an area that is near some neighborhoods? Should they be worried?
I want the people of Oak Creek and southeastern Wisconsin to know that there are numerous law enforcement agencies here, local police departments. Oak Creek is doing fantastic work. The Milwaukee County Sheriff's Department is here. The FBI is here. We have tactical units from multiple agencies. We believe we have the situation contained here. However, as usual, if anyone sees anyone suspicious or anything suspicious in the area, please call your local law enforcement agency.
What agency is in charge, sir?
Oak Creek is in charge. This is Oak Creek's jurisdiction. That's all I can give you at this time. Thank you.
Case of domestic terror. Being classified as a case of domestic terrorism as a domestic terrorist type incident.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you see that, as I mentioned before, that there is a distinct pattern developing here? And this pattern is going to be the initiator of the cause for why it is important to take the guns out of the hands of everyday individual citizens that are looking to protect themselves, because others have gotten weapons and guns and they have used them for these domestic terrorist situations. And the overall synopsis of everything will come down to that we need to be protected. So to be protected, the guns have to be taken out of the hands of everyday people. Ladies and gentlemen, the simple truth of the matter is that it is not up to a government or any agency to protect us as individuals. It is our duty to protect ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the simple truth. And as I always tell you, the simple things are oftentimes the most profound, but yet they are the most difficult to put into practice and to actually do. I'm going to continue to share with you as different developments come up, and I will talk to you again real soon.